In the mid-1980s, life is a dream come true for Lynn Hinkson and her husband Frank. They've just built the home of their dreams by a beautiful lake nestled in a peaceful valley. And if that isn't paradise enough, they're also on their way to Hawaii.
We were at a hotel convention in Hawaii. That's when something hit me, and I didn't know what it was, that I could hardly move. I just felt ill. I ached all over. And I was basically a mess through the whole thing.
At the time, it seems to be an isolated incident until it happens again a year later. And this time, the symptoms are more severe, and they don't go away.
We were going out for an evening. I had on a ring, and by the time we got up there, my finger had swollen up so that I had to remove the ring. When I'd get up, I would be my normal size, and within a couple of hours, I'd go up a size and then another size. So I'd progressed into about 3 size levels during the day. You just felt like you were going to blow up, that you were a blimp. It was very painful, too.
Her face started swelling and her lips swelled very badly, and that condition stayed with her for a number of years.
Every time I turned around, there was something I was allergic to, whether it was food or breathing chemicals. The other thing was I had candida in the intestine very badly too, and fought with that, and we thought that was maybe the cause of my problem. So I went to our general practitioner, and he said I was very toxic, that's why I was swelling, but he didn't know what the cause was. One doctor said it was the most complicated case he'd ever experienced in his entire career. My vision was very distorted. My coordination was really poor. I'd lose balance. Frank used to have to help me downstairs, step by step. I hurt any place that you touched me. My sinuses were infected. I had a lot of head pressure, that sort of thing.
I can recall when she passed out in our bathroom, that was probably about the lowest point right there, where it did appear that there was something very dramatically wrong.
With no solution in sight, Frank decides to take Lynn back to Hawaii, hoping that a winter vacation might do her some good. It does more than that. It changes her life.
While visiting the island of Kauai, the Hinksons meet acquaintances from back home. They suggest that a shiatsu massage might ease some of her aches and pains, so they arrange an appointment for her.
My first visit with Dr. Wendy Present-Jan was that she did a very thorough job of checking me. I could see that she was sincere and that she cared, and she was going to see if she could help me get well.
I knew right away that there was a compromised immune system because she was having so many infections. And I wondered if she might not have some food sensitivity. She had quite a history of allergies. I put her on an elimination diet. I also had her consistently on a vitamin and mineral protocol. And we used different herbs as the need arose. For example, when her blood pressure was high, we would use things like garlic to help to lower the blood pressure. And when she was suffering from an infection, we'd use things like echinacea and golden seal.
She was trying to get to the source of the problem. Dr. Wendy would get me to a point of looking and feeling so much better. But I wouldn't hold too long, and all of a sudden I would go back down and start coming out with everything from little bumps all over my head to rashes, the swelling getting worse.
It wasn't until a few months later when she complained about some pain in her mouth. And I looked in the mouth and I realized that she still had amalgam fillings. And then at that point I referred her to a naturopathic dentist.
Lynn first came to see me. She presented with a lot of swelling of the face, the lower facial area. Her lips were large and bulbous. She'd had a lot of fillings done. We found that there was still mercury left underneath some of the white fillings, and there was mercury under the gold work she had done too.
The controversy over mercury amalgam fillings has been raging for years. While some dentists feel they offer no cause for alarm, others believe that mercury leaking into the body can affect our health.
It's hard to argue because most everyone has silver fillings in their teeth, and yet not everybody gets sick. But that comes back to a personal tolerance. Not everybody can eat peanuts. Some people die from a peanut. Other people can take it okay.
Lynn Hinkson is one of those people with a lot of fillings, some amalgam, some gold. Ill health as a child, including a ruptured appendix, may have contributed to problems in her mouth. Now, according to Dr. Mahan, it's the other way around.
That's why I'd had the candida and the allergies and you name it. It was all having to do with my teeth.
It just seems that the mercury reduces the immune ability of the body to fight off the fungus and also to fight off the bacteria causing the periodontal disease.
Dr. Mahan refers Lynn to a periodontist to help bring her gums back to health. In the meantime, he sets to work replacing Lynn's fillings and dealing with the infection in her mouth. Gradually, Lynn and her naturopath begin to see a change.
She had quite high blood pressure when I started seeing her, and we noticed as each filling came out, her blood pressure would fall. And now it's sort of at a high normal rather than being high. And that's been something that's been quite lasting with the mercury fillings out. I don't believe that I could have cured her of her problems unless she had been to see a dentist. So in other words, the treatment I gave her was helping her to some extent, but she kept regressing, and she never would have really moved past that point that we had gotten her to without proper dental care.
We can't heal anything. It's the body that actually heals itself. But you have to have all the energy or the nutrition and supplements and everything in order for the body to have the raw materials to heal itself.
Today, Lynn Hinkson is on the road to recovery, a road that is taking her life and lifestyle in a whole new direction.
Lynn is really great because she does a lot of personal work. She does a lot of reading of self-help books. She does things like meditation and yoga, and she's always interested in learning new ways to cope with her illness.
Both my husband and I have our own workout. I also rebound, and it's a real aerobic bounce. I use the weights, and all of this is on a daily basis.
What we've noticed over time is that her relapses have become less severe, they've become less frequent. Healing is never an upward curve. It's always a series of hills and valleys.
I would suggest to anyone that is chronically not feeling well, I would strongly suggest that they go to a good naturopathic doctor and that they also have a good medical doctor. They both could work together. That's why it's called alternative medicine. I think the two work in conjunction with one another.
Alternative health care is an important part of Lynn Hinkson's life now, but not a replacement for traditional treatment.
I feel like my life has just begun, to be quite honest. And I may be getting older, but I feel like I'm getting younger. I feel like I've gone back to my 30s.